Okay, we just got a tour from Becky Shea, the former Billings Gazette reporter that's now the PR spokesperson for this facility for American Police Force. She admitted that it'll be a foreign paramilitary mercenary training facility. She admitted that it's going to be a detention facility. The point is this is just off the charts. They're now doing massive damage control. They're about to give us a tour of the outside of the facility. I just got a tour of only one wing of this gigantic $27 million facility. They would not let us into most of the areas. Just while I was in some of the offices, I saw blueprints, I saw documents. I'm just going to leave it at that. But this story is definitely the mother lode. This is definitely a black site / ghost site in the United States. They plan to have this be a ghost site, but locals blew the whistle. They were definitely going to try to become the police through the Two Rivers Authority, basically taking over the town of Hardin. This individual is tied in with high-powered Serb operatives. His dad is some type of high-ranking Serb, Chatar, but he won't give anybody else his name. Then you have this Hilton character. Again, that's a fake name. He's Serbian. There are German troops here, German paramilitaries, British paramilitaries, but they're keeping back from us deeper in the facility. Yes, I am in one of the black Mercedes-Benz SUVs inside the detention center. Becky is I'm going to be using the phone as a microphone so she can give us a live report. Becky, what about Blackwater connections? We've been hearing a lot about that, and the company and in several places has bragged that they have Blackwater connections.
I've heard so many names that it's just absolutely phenomenal to me. We're not disclosing the name of our parent company, and that's it. We're not disclosing the name of our parent company. We stand alone.
Oh, there's a parent company.
Well,
there is a parent company of American Police Force.
There is an umbrella company. American Police Force stands alone as a corporation, and we are American Police Force. We are who we are.
But if it's a secretive group owned by a secret group and it's headed by a 14-time felon, and then they were putting police decals on their vehicles the first few days, I mean, don't people have a right to be a little bit concerned about this, Becky? There are newscasts for saying they wanted this be Guantanamo Bay West. That was on CNN.
That was not American Police Force, and I'd ask you to go back and recheck your sources. That was too.
So they've not been requesting to have this as a facility to hold detainees?
No, sir. And please, everyone listen carefully. Two Rivers Detention Facility will not hold Guantanamo Bay nor other multinational offenders. We're a minimum and medium.
Why did I see documents on the wall, blueprints saying foreign alien detention facility? This is real. This is a ghost site / black site that we have on. This is a FEMA center they want to hold. She was telling me I saw blueprints all over the place, scanning them quickly. I was walking to the facility, and she'd say, "Oh, don't tape that," or "Don't show that." Where it was saying alien detention, troop barracks, processing facility. And she admitted they're going to do training to process people and to go out and set up checkpoints with CAT scan scanners, is the way she called it, to scan people's goods. So this is a huge processing center. I don't think she even knows everything. She seems pretty freaked out. She gets hired and finds out all this. And we went and interviewed bed and breakfasts, because there's hardly any hotels here. At two of the places, they said, "Oh, absolutely. Germans, Czechs, Brits, a lot of Serbs, really hardcore-looking people, won't pay in cash, act really suspicious. They've been here for a year. I mean, this is insane what we're dealing with up here. And they're just trying to act like it's all fine. We're not going to tell you our parent company. Everything's fine. Everything's wonderful. I mean, this is bizarro land."
Well, court records from Orange County, California indicate Michael Hilton has a lengthy criminal past, including a 6-year prison sentence for a dozen counts of grand theft and other charges. And we learned just yesterday there's a warrant out for Hilton's arrest in Wyoming.
American Police Force pulls out of contract negotiations with Two Rivers Authority.
All right, Sarah Bradley joins us now live from the newsroom to tell us more about the latest development in this story. Sarah?
Hey, Greg, Kathy. APF spokeswoman Becky Shea says it was a company decision to pull out. She says they learned things about the facility that made them lose interest in the deal.
We interrupt our regular program schedule for a special report.
Here is Wall Street Journal. KBR awarded Homeland Security contract worth up to $385 million to build 3 1 million person FEMA camps in the United States. It says the ICE detention and removal operations program can be used for illegal aliens and for U.S. citizens and for other emergencies. Here's the New York Times. Halliburton subsidiary gets contract to add temporary immigration detention centers. Just like under Rex 84, the documents came out in the 80s. They said the cover would be for illegal aliens, but it would be really a martial law takeover plan and to suspend the Constitution and take over the media. So there's the New York Times we have saved up on prisonplanet.com. Also, George Bush reopened all the Japanese and German prisoner of war camps in the U.S. and put water in, light in, and then just have them set up and ready. That was in the CBS News. Bush to preserve World War II internment camps. So there's that article. Pentagon paying for fake news in the U.S., White House paying for fake news in the U.S. It's now in the tens of billions every year. This is what's going on. The fake news reports they produced and put on radio and TV that were made by the government. I've had Congress people on talking about how it's illegal, the fake news. All of this is being done. Fake polls, everything. How are they preparing the public? When I saw this at the time, I saw Tommy Franks and Cigar Aficionado. I saw Tommy Franks on CNN, Fox, MSNBC go, gee, I'm real sorry about this, but one more big terror attack, we're going to have a military form of government and martial law. I'm real sad about that, but that's what the American people are going to demand. That's the only thing that'll keep them safe. Now, you don't expect him to come out and say, gee, we're going to have a military dictatorship. Militaries throughout history love taking over societies 99% of the time, and America's just been in the exception. No, he's got to introduce it like, gee, shuck, I'm real upset, but it is the only thing that'll keep us safe. The Constitution won't survive a WMD attack. And I said at the time, I said, he is part of the Pentagon's billions in fake news. That's illegal. The General Accounting Office has already ruled that they're paying off reporters and people to go on TV. I said, I bet my bottom dollar Franks is being paid off. Now they're rolling them out in the news. The camps will be for you when you're starving during the collapse of society, which is what the IMF and World Bank have done to countless third world countries, and their own documents say they want to do it here. They have to fully bankrupt you so they can consolidate everything with the tens of trillions of fiat currency they're holding and hoarding of taxpayer money. And then once the riots start, which they're trying to push, they have Zbigniew Brzezinski on MSNBC, we played that the other day, saying, I'm really worried about these bankers. They're going to cause riots nationwide.
Millions and millions of unemployed. People really facing dire straits. And we're going to be having that for some period of time before things hopefully improve. And at the same time, there is this public awareness of this extraordinary wealth that was transferred to a few individuals. And you sort of say to yourself, what's going to happen in this society when these people are without jobs, when their families hurt, when they lose their homes and so forth?
As if he isn't one of the engineers of it. See, they know they've got revolution on their hands. They know that we did our job warning the people and exposing what was happening and putting all this information out, and people found out it was true. Here it is. This is from my film, The Road to Tyranny. I have 18 hours of this. I have them training all over the country. I have them teaching police to arrest anybody with a get us out of the UN sticker. This is what's been going on. Here it is.
You're damn right, because think about the Christians, okay? Do you accept Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior? No. What did they do? They took your head off. They beheaded you if you didn't accept Jesus Christ, your Lord and Savior. See, this is reality. Yeah, they're terrorists, but the bottom line is to them, they are not. When people are passionate about what they believe in, they become a very difficult enemy to beat. Who was the first terrorist organization in the United States? Who? Founding Fathers. You mean Thomas Jefferson?
Look at this guy. He's talking about the founding fathers and people that are committed. He's talking about constitutional terrorists. Before that, the cops are so conditioned. They say, who are the terrorists? Who are the first terrorists? The founding fathers. They all know. They all say founding fathers. They've already been taught this many times. He says that's a very difficult enemy to beat. No, you are the enemy when you become an enemy of the Bill of Rights and Constitution and let foreign bankers take us over. Play it again.
The guys who we call our founding fathers, George Washington, Mr. Honest, who cut down the cherry tree and admitted it, is the same guy who signed death orders, if you will, on members of the British government, the British Crown, who they wanted to eliminate because politically they had influence in certain pockets of the United States, at that time the 13 colonies, and they wanted to divide and conquer. They may get a whole lot of civilians, and hey, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? If they killed 10,000 civilians tomorrow with a biological agent, that's too bad for them.